Blessing, thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me.
Now, we know that getting a tertiary education is absolutely vital to many fields in South Africa, but it's often expensive and many young South Africans just are unable to fund their studies. Now, this is where your initiative comes in. Tell us a little bit more about SA Scholar.
Okay. So SS Scholar was basically born out of a frustration of a couple of guys who were trying to find funding for higher education institution. So I myself, I have a master's degree, and I wanted to find funding for my master's degree. And at the same time, I also had to go overseas for a workshop. And then what happened is I had all the documents, but I actually forgot to apply. And then I went overseas, and the deadline passed. So with that, when I came back and I was talking to my colleagues who are now my colleagues who I work with in SS Scholar, we figured like, okay, they were also struggling to get scholarships. So we figured like, I forgot to apply for a bursary and you are also struggling with bursaries. Why can't we actually make something that will actually help out everyone in South Africa and help educate South Africa? Hence the SS Scholar was born.
Blessing, that's certainly something that we need in South Africa. So won't you tell us, how does SA Scholar work?
What happens is, as a scholar, you go onto our website, which is currently just a web application, which can be accessed from any device that has internet. So what happens is, as a scholar, you create an account with SS Scholar, and then we collect your biographical information, which includes like your age, your race, as well as other parameters. And then you actually log into the application in itself. Now, what's smart is the application remembers the biographical information that you gave us when you created the account, and then you also put in further parameters to actually search, which include the university that you want to study at, the level that you want to study, and also the field of study, among other things. And then once you click the search button, literally in less than, I could say 5 seconds, you get bursary options, and you can get as many as above 10, which is really amazing, if I may say.
It absolutely is. Now, is there a cost to the scholar who wants to use the web-based application? How can they go about using it?
For now, and we envision it for the future as well, it's absolutely free to anyone who uses it. And we have what we call the SS Scholar application, which is for students themselves. And then we have what we call the SS Scholar community application. And this one is a little bit different now. This one pertains to organizations that want to help out. Because at SS Scholar, we understand that not everyone has access to the internet or has a mobile device to actually access the internet and actually have access to these funding opportunities. But there are organizations out there who want to help out. And fortunately for SS Scholar, what we have now is this mobile application which you can use and actually go into the rural areas where there's no internet and actually help scholars to get matched with better opportunities and eventually get funding for higher education, tertiary education.
Tell us about where we can log on to access SA Scholar and to an interested viewer who wants to find out more about you and your team. How can they get in contact?
Okay, so you can get in contact with us via our website. You can go to www.ssscholar.com, and from there you will get a link to actually go onto the mobile app, to the web application in itself. And for anyone who wishes to get in contact with us, if they want to help us or they think they want to suggest something that they can actually help to make this service better for the whole of South Africa, you can find our contact details there, which is team@ssscholar.com, and we'll be happy to help out in any way we can.
Blessing, thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Okay, no, thank you for having me. Hey.